Yussuf Poulsen, 85 goals, 64 assists, and a club record 367 appearances. It is an honor to have you. Welcome to Morning Footy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, let's chat about this game over the weekend, because you guys had the 2-0 lead heading into halftime. It ends in a 2-2 draw. Now that you've had kind of a couple days to process it, what were the feelings after this match?
The feeling was a little bit of disappointment, I think. Could feel it in the guys. Like, of course, if you have a lead of 2-0 at halftime, of course you want to win the game. But Bayern is a strong team, and we know that. And they also came out in the second half with a different approach. And I think at the end, overall, it was a deserved draw.
Yussuf, you played Bayern in the Super Cup and you demolished them 3-0. That was pre-Harry Kane. Now with Harry Kane, do you notice a difference with this Bayern side with Harry Kane on the pitch?
Yes, of course they have a new. First of all, he's a great player. He's a world-class player, and he's going to have an impact in any team he's going to go into. So of course there's a difference. But I think if we're talking about the game 2 days ago, we actually managed to close him down quite well for the most of the game. But at the end he's still on the score sheet, so it's not always possible. But yeah, he makes a difference to the team, and yeah. So it's even more difficult to beat them.
It's a difficult proposition dealing with Harry Kane in this Bayern Munich attack. But you've also faced Bayer Leverkusen, and we've been talking about Victor Boniface quite often, of just how good he has been in the Bundesliga. Now that you've seen both teams and you've competed with both, I feel your team was probably unlucky in that Leverkusen game. Who do you think is a stronger opponent, and how do you feel that Leverkusen is this season?
Leverkusen is great this season, I have to say. It was a difficult match to play there, and like I think there's going to be a lot of contenders for the title this year, and a lot of teams who are playing good. You also have Dortmund, who was almost getting the title last season. Wolfsburg's looking great also this season. So there's a lot of difficult teams to play this year, and Leverkusen is definitely one of them. And I think I can't compare them because it's two different teams to play against. And Leverkusen have a different approach than Bayern has, but I can say it's difficult to play against both.
Yussuf, another big game coming up this midweek against Manchester City. You guys had not a great showing against them in the Champions League last season, but it's time for redemption. Manchester City's coming off of a loss. For you guys must have that taste of revenge in your mouth.
Yeah, of course we have. And to be fair, we have been quite good at home against the City. We won one time and draw them the other time. And then let's not talk about how we did it in City. I'll just focus on how great we are playing against them at home.
Have you exchanged messages with Joško Vardiol before this game?
Danny almost is my partner, sitting to me next in the dressing room, and he's talking to him a lot. They have some past in playing together in Croatia. We have talked, and we're looking forward to see him again.
Yussuf, take us into the Leipzig building right now. What would you say, or what is the message being put to you guys as players? What's the goal for this season? What's the priority?
We have quite a new team. We've lost a lot of players. We've got a lot of new players. So we were not sure how far and how good we could come into this season with 10 new signings. It's always difficult when you change a squad. Like that, like we did this year. But I think we've managed it quite well, and we, still looking at the same, like the last couple of seasons. We want to be in the top. We want to see how long we can stay into contending about the title. We know it's difficult, and Bayern have won it 11 times in a row, so they are always going to be the favorite for it. But we'll see how long we can keep up with them.
Yussuf, also, you're a rare breed as a player. In the modern game, we don't see players stay in a club for so long. You've been there for 10 years. Tell us what that's been like with all the changes you've seen and how you've managed to keep yourself as a player motivated to, want to be part of the club.
Yeah, that's happened a lot. I came here when we were in the 3rd division, so that's you can imagine the change. I played at home for 12,000, I think, in my first home match, or 10,000, and now we have a full stadium every week. So it's quite of a change. But in terms of motivation, it's easy when you're taking steps forward all the time. And I have the feeling that we have done that with the club over the last 10 years, that we keep continuing to improve. And we went through the leagues and then went in straight into the Champions League in the first year in the Bundesliga and so on. And played in the Champions League semi-finals, and last 2 years we won the cup. So we're always developing, and that's what motivates me the most, that we can keep moving forward and get new challenges.
Do you have a Red Bull tattoo now?
No, I haven't.
No, not yet? So you as a player, Yussuf, how have you developed over these 10 years? Because you've been getting international matches with Denmark, playing in the Bundesliga, scoring goals, playing Champions League. How have you seen yourself develop into a top striker? Yeah,
of course, I came here as a young kid. I was just turned 19. So you develop a lot, and the experience you get of playing these games every year. And also the international games, and we have also had quite a good squad with the Danish national teams. Went into the semi-finals of the Euros last time, and that possibility to play these games are exactly the thing you need to develop your game as a player. A lot of players have probably the same abilities, but doesn't get the chance to develop them because of a lack of opportunity of getting these kind of games.
Yussuf, I want to roll the clock back 10 years, a little bit more than 10 years at this point. What was the selling point from Leipzig to go to you and say, hey, we have this project, we want you to be a part of it? And was it convincing, to go from Denmark to the 3rd division of Germany? Did you have any doubts? What was that like?
First, I played 1.5 years a pro in Denmark at the point. Got some substitutes in the first league in my first year with Lyngby, and we went down to the 2nd league and played 1 season there. And to be fair, the 3rd league in Germany is better than the 2nd league in Denmark. I wanted to play. Pro football and not in some other 2nd team club, as I had the opportunity to do somewhere else. There was a lot of Bundesliga interest also, but I was then gonna play games for the 2nd team, and most of the 2nd teams are in the 4th league. So for me, it was an easy choice to do after I was here and looked at everything. And we had Ralf Rangnick at that point, and he had already showed with Ulm and with Hoffenheim that he can take teams through the lower leagues into the Bundesliga. And if you have a figure like that who can show you that it already happened before, that's a quite convincing argument. When I came here, it was clear that the facilities and the things that were about to be built at that point was all on focus on going into the 1st league. I was also other places in Germany to look at it, and at that point the development of the club Leipzig was not there yet, but you could see that they were reaching for going at the highest level in Germany. And
Yussuf, toughest defender currently in the Bundesliga?
Toughest defender. I played against two of kind of tough ones, just a couple of days ago with Upamecano and Kim. I would say Upamecano's quite a tough player now. I've all had the enjoyment of playing against him every day in training for 2-3 years when he was here. So I would probably say Upa.
Okay.
Yussuf, I'm going to finish on a fun one for you. Do you like New York City?
I do.
Oh,
I do.
okay. You know, there's a club there in New York City. You know, what's the chances of maybe seeing you in New York City for that Red Bull? You know,
within the
Red Bull
family.
New York. How about that?
Let's just say they're desperate for a striker.
I'm just saying, yeah, Red Bull New York. You like New York City? That could be a match made in heaven.
Yeah, it could be. I'm not saying that that's not gonna happen at some point. But right now, I like playing Champions League, and
Oh, okay.
the US are not able to play in the Champions League at the US teams. So
Hey, there's CCC.
Nigel's a new agent, Yussuf. you gotta give him a little bit
We'll
because
take it.
you're just getting your feet wet, right?
I'm just saying, just putting it out there. Good energy.
Well, Yussuf, yeah, I mean, we know you've got another 10 years in you at the very least. At least. We really appreciate you taking the time to join us. Best of luck this week against
Thank
City.
you.